People have often said that I'm a happy warrior, and I've always taken seriously my role as a happy warrior on behalf of this state. Even today, when I'm struggling with many of the difficult questions this election poses, my optimism for the future remains undiminished. Governing is hard work, but it's also important and challenging work. I refuse to let it grind me down. Setting the example for us all are the hardworking and decent people of Illinois who refuse to let the challenges they face grind them down. To anyone who intends to come take away the freedom and opportunity and dignity of Illinoisans, I would remind you that a happy warrior is still a warrior. You come for my people, you come through me. Well, good morning, everyone, and thank you all for joining us today. Let me begin by thanking all of the election judges and poll workers here in Illinois and across the country who facilitated a smooth, fair, and democratic process. I went to the South Side on Election Day to deliver some midday treats to the people who were running balloting in a precinct there. And there were 4 young people working alongside 6 older women, learning the ropes from some experienced old hands. And it reminded me that our elections truly are in the hands of the people, and that the youth of our nation are our best hope for maintaining a strong democracy. It's no small thing to volunteer to work a polling location in these times, and I want those who stepped up across the state of Illinois to know that they have a sincere thank you and sincere gratitude from the governor. I also want to thank all the Illinoisans who voted in this election. Casting a vote is making a wish for the future. Sometimes you live to see that wish fulfilled, and sometimes you must accept that your vote is a down payment on a house that you may wait a long time to finally live in. I'm thinking a lot today about my mother. For most of my life, I've been involved in public policy and democratic political campaigns as a volunteer, as a supporter, as a candidate, and that's most especially because of my mother. When I was just a little kid, I was conscripted by her to stuff political flyers into envelopes while my older brother and sister addressed and stamped them. We watched as Sue Pritzker organized political campaigns out of our living room at a time when women weren't even allowed to have credit cards without a male cosigner. I think about how she supported causes for women's rights, for gay rights, for civil rights, back when it must have seemed like the pace of change was heartbreakingly slow. The memory of my mother has helped to give me some understanding that the hope that American women have for our country is not a new manifestation, but an old inheritance. It has been nurtured and cared for over generations, passed down with the kind of persistence that you need to continue putting logs on a fire you may not get to see lit in your lifetime. I know that there are a lot of women out there this week, especially young women, asking themselves if they will ever get to see a female president. And to them, I want to say, I too am tired of having to explain to my daughter and to my son too, that eventually the time will come, but not now. Yet, here we are again. A majority of women are not the only people who are disappointed in the results of the election on Tuesday. For many Illinoisans, there's a considerable amount of uncertainty and unease about the road ahead. And I'm here today to remind people that no matter the storm that we face, Illinois will always strive to make you welcome and safe and protected. Chaos, retribution, and disarray radiated from the White House the last time Donald Trump occupied it. Perhaps this time may be different. But if it isn't, Illinois will remain a place of stability and competent governance. Through his repeated attacks on workers and women, on immigrants and people with disabilities, and our LGBTQ plus community. Illinois has remained a place where rights are protected and that everyone can call home. Despite his threats to health care coverage and educational opportunity and a fair minimum wage, Illinois will continue to invest in the well-being and prosperity of our people. Donald Trump will be our next president. He won the election, and we must all be willing to work together for the common good. In months ahead, we should all be focused on the peaceful transition of power, even if Donald Trump didn't afford that to his successor. But we also must be focused on the defense of our entire Constitution, not just the parts that demand the peaceful transfer of power. While I was certainly surprised by Tuesday's results, I was not unprepared. Having fought through the headwinds of the first Trump administration, the General Assembly and I took proactive steps to plan for the potential of a second Trump presidency and protect our residents from the damage that it may attempt to cause. We enshrined reproductive rights and other health care protections into the state constitution via the Reproductive Health Act to protect women from his Supreme Court's extreme anti-choice agenda. We built a path to an abundant, clean energy future in an attempt to protect our children and our planet from his reversion toward lower environmental standards that will pollute our air and water. We reaffirmed labor rights and nearly doubled the minimum wage to beat back Trump's consistent assault on American workers. We invested in advanced manufacturing and electrification and new high-tech industries to attract new businesses and jobs to Illinois and ensure that tariffs and trickle-down economics do not define our state's economic future. Illinois will continue to be a refuge for those whose rights are being denied elsewhere, women seeking reproductive health care, immigrants searching to work hard for a better life, LGBTQ Americans looking for welcome and protection, and people with disabilities whose civil and human rights are under attack. Over the years ahead, we'll do more than just protect against the possible reversion to an agenda that threatens to take us backward. We will continue to advance a positive, productive, and inclusive agenda of our own, one that brings opportunity to Illinois and helps uplift the nation as a whole. I look forward to taking your questions, but first I'm going to hand this podium over to a fellow warrior and a powerful defender of the people of Illinois, Lieutenant Governor Juliana Stratton.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you, Governor, for your guiding light. While I'm always honored to serve by your side, today I am especially grateful to live in Illinois and to be your constituent. I want to echo the Governor's gratitude for every person across the country who worked to ensure an efficient and honest election. On more than one occasion, you have heard me express being grateful for the shoulders of my ancestors upon which I stand. Today, I am testing my own shoulders' capacity to bear weight. I'm practicing steadiness while the floor beneath my feet quakes. As a mother to 4 daughters, one of whom is under the age of 10, I have literally carried the weight of the future on my back. And at this moment, it seems like I can almost feel their breath on my neck as they inch higher, preparing to assume their place on my shoulders as they follow in my footsteps. And while the future is murky, I am sure of this: Illinois' shoulders are strong and will remain firm as we continue the work of building the future that all of our children deserve. For 6 years, Governor Pritzker and I, along with our partners in the General Assembly, have advanced policies and practices that were designed to withstand the winds of opposition. This was intentional because we knew that whatever happened on the national landscape, we would be proactive in protecting our people. The outcome of this election does not erase the fact that Illinois has already expanded reproductive care, protected LGBTQ+ people, banned assault weapons, protected workers' rights, and created more access to opportunities. In fact, these results fortify our next steps. We will continue to fight for a world where every child can get a good education, and anyone looking for an opportunity to work or start a business can find one, where no family fears the cost of groceries or chooses between an electric bill or filling a prescription. A world that is welcoming to all and embraces the notion that our diversity is indeed our strength, and where children who look like mine don't have to think twice about where they belong. A world where kindness is contagious and everyone being worthy of respect is a societal norm. See, the work doesn't stop, even if it feels like the earth just did. Nothing can contain the wild hearts of Americans seeking peace and justice. No constraints have been able to keep us from pursuing something more, something better, something beautiful for all. So rest assured, we will continue to press on. And as we approach the next curve of our path, I simply offer my heart and my hand to the whole of Illinois. At no point have I ever felt the salience of these words more truthfully. Our only way forward is together.